Hello, welcome to the Reframing Mindset podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity and practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, so welcome back to the Reframing Mindset podcast. My name is Colin Smith Brooks, and this is me giving me giving this is going to be a mini update and a mini rant and informative episode, you know, and it's all in one. So that's the simplest way I can say it. So let's get into it. So first things first, I'm going to say boom that from the last episode when I told you that hey, the laptop and the tablet stopped working for some random reason. I got it fixed and it cost me about 5,400. Oh, I have to spend money, but one of those random costs that you have to be aware of when it pops up, and it just randomly pops up anywhere. Just like remember from before the $66,000 light bill that just pop up out of nowhere. But I got it out of the way, and that's good that it actually got fixed in one day. So that wasn't something I expected, but the place that I actually do it, they do good work there, man. The next thing is when I was at the place, I saw something that it was a good idea to get, and it was a portable speaker. And reason why is the monitor that I have now, you know, the monitor that I have now, it doesn't have sound. So the sound, like when I'm down watch YouTube or playback when I'm recording this, I have to put on the earphones, plug in the earphone into the microphone, or use Bluetooth to the headphones to get sound. What with the speaker now, the portable speaker now, it has a Bluetooth feature, so I can just connect it to the PC and then have a blue speaker for the micro for the PC. So that's a good investment. Good investment, simple, and it costs around 3,500 from what I see. But I'm not going to buy it as yet. I just have to think about because I have to buy groceries and stuff like that, and that's what I got the money for. So I have to just think about buying that first before I look into actually buying that. Mhm. But I know that when I actually get that, that will be a good investment, and thing. Yeah. So the next thing is I went to the movies recently. Well, recently as in yesterday, and well, 2 days ago, if the day when you are listening to this, because it's Saturday. It was Saturday, and what Fast and Furious 9, and it was a great movie, bro. It was, yo, you should watch it, bro. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Don't want to spoil it for anybody, but highly recommend. Highly recommend. Something even unexpected happened, and it's like unexpected, like Lazarus. Yeah, that's my spoiler. That's my spoiler for it, Lazarus from the Bible. Yeah, so that's my spoiler for you to go watch it and say, yeah, man. But it was a good movie. But what happened after made me regret the whole going to the movie experience. You see, the problem with going to movies where I'm from is the movies usually play here in the night. So it would be like either 5, 6, 7, or 8 o'clock. And I live in Westmoreland and the place is in Mobile. And it takes like an hour or so to reach hour to an hour and a half to reach the cinema. And then after I watch the movie, movies are usually 2 hours or at least 2 hour 30 minutes long. Then after that, it's basically in the night, and then really any taxi All right, so run back to my to where I'm from, and that's the problem. And I think it's a problem for a lot of areas. It's a problem for a lot of areas. It's not only mine, because I'm at a different area than I was originally, and it's the same problem. No, only thing is that it's even worse because when I was at my first original area, I could get a drive. It would take me a while, but I could get a drive, and it would carry me directly to my my house gate, you know, directly. Before now that I'm here, it's not the same. So basically, the only lucky thing that happened to me that made me actually reach home that night was a random person, you know, that was coming from work had the same did a try was tried was coming to sub going to sub same way, and he had a connection to he had a taxi link, you know, he had someone that you could call, and he said, yo, you know, if since you're coming to serve, you can come with me, you know. And he gave me that drive. And it cost me $500, which is more because it's in the night, so it's basically double fare. So the fare was originally 250, but because it's in the night late, I have to pay 500 to go there. And when I actually reach in Savlamar now and then take a taxi to go come home, take a taxi to go come home. No, it's basically I had to if it wasn't for another vendor that was there working late in the night that actually had another taxi link, I wouldn't reach from Savlamar to my home that night, you know. And that's the thing about night traveling in Jamaica. It's really bad. There's no good way. There's nothing good about night traveling in Jamaica. One, because even if you have a car, you have to think about criminals or people or drive past bad neighborhood or something like that. So there's genuinely no good reason at this point for a good reason for night traveling. And it's sad because Jamaica have some great nightlife, but it's with the criminals and then bad transportation thing, it's like it's terrible. It's terrible. You know. So that's my mini rant and my movie experience. Great movie, but terrible after coming home. Mhm. So the next thing that happened that night is so when I reached in Savlamar now, and I couldn't, and I realized that I couldn't get any drive to like come home. I was planning to go to a there was a like a family care, a family hospital. Like I was planning to just go there because it's open for 24 hours and sit down in the place and just go and chill there till the morning. Went there, they said no. The doctor said they won't let me in. I'm like, bro, you know, and that's the thing that I realized with there, you know, you have people that takes their job strictly, and it's strictly their strictness to the job makes them not do their job well. What do I mean by that? You know, never mind, and that it just that's a thing, and it will take a while to really explain and for you to get it, but it will take a while for you to get it, but it would be a it will hard. It's not really that relatable to what I'm saying now, but boom. After that, he told me go to the Savamar General Hospital to stay there instead. So when I was walking over to Savamar General Hospital now, at the front of the gate, what do I see? A pack of dogs. A pack of dogs in front of the hospital gate. You have to look at that and say, come, really? A hospital? Suppose I was a sick person, a dying person going to the hospital. Uh, there's a pack of dog in front of the hospital. You're so well, it's a disgrace. I'm telling you, it's a disgrace. to for Sablabar to be hospital. It's a this Sablabar General Hospital. Simply because of the dog. Sim- just that make, makes it. I'm telling you, if they just at least, man, they generally no reason. Someone like me can't really go over there, because I'm not afraid of dog. So if I'm injured or not, I have to just take my chance, and if it goes bad, I just dead die in my room, because that's basically it. Man, no, it's sad. There's so many dogs in Westmoreland, stray dogs. It's a disgrace. And you know what it worse? There's a lot of police and soldiers driving around, and not one of them can have the common sense. They would run that those police and soldiers would chase down a driver from Westmoreland go straight to Kingston and now come up with that and say, oh, let me just get all of these dogs off the road. You know, that's how you know, one trap minded people in their jobs are. You know, but that's the I think. That's my rant on that night and the hospital. I'm telling you, if you're a Jamaican doctor, call the hospital or maybe tell them Sablama Hospital at least sort out that. It's a disgrace. And make it worse, all the hospitals in Jamaica, they're not properly. They're to Connor Regional now is not renovated. So I think technically Savlamar General Hospital is one of the best technical, and it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. So that's it for as far as hospital. The next thing now is I'm going to address some fallacy about getting a job. Because now people are telling me, hey, I I should get a job, I should get a job, I should get a job. And there's nothing wrong with getting a job. It's a good way to get money and thing. But um, the problem is that when people equate job to like going to church, where it's like you're saying, oh, you have to get a job. Like people say, oh, you have to go to church to get Christ and all these. You have to go to church to get Christ. You have to go to job. You have to go to the job. You know, because of that now. You're not acknowledging exactly what you're doing in a job. And by me addressing all these policies now, you can see where that applies to you. And I'll try to give you some tips to alleviate the policy, which I'm going to explain. Yeah. Man. So boom, the first thing is the average person is in debt. The average person has student loan debt or consumer debt, that is credit card debt. So getting a job is good and all, but if your job and your effort is not going 100% to get that debt paid off, you will end up like a person working in the same place for years and wondering where the, all that time went and gone. What can you do to alleviate that? When getting the job, have two things in mind. The job is to pay off my debt or give me funds to make more money, side hustle or whatever, to pay off that debt. That way, every day you wake up going to work, you know exactly what you're working towards. The work you're doing is to help you get into a better situation for a better job and a better lifestyle. A typical question asked in interview is, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And that's a trap question to keep you trapped in the company. Know your why when you're going to each interview. One answer to this job to this is, this job will supply me funds so I can work to get my driver's license and also be more marketable in the working field. Also, this job requires skills that I'll have to come out of my shell to develop. So it's a way to do that while getting compensated, while getting my life together. Another thing is by hiring me, your company is doing the world a service as you're decreasing my debt owed to society, giving me skills that make me more competitive in the job market, and I learn about the company, the teamwork dynamics, etc., which makes me a better team player. This allows me in 10 years to be a net positive to society, and your company have the added benefit of saying that you contributed to that. The second thing is transportation. This is both on the company and the personal side. Jobs these days rarely take into account transportation, and if they do it half-heartedly. It costs to go to and from work, and it takes time and energy when you reach your work. When you reach, you're working for, and when you reach, you work from 9 to 5, and then you have to look for a drive to take you home, eat, sleep, then wake up and go to work the next day. When all of this is taken into account, you're basically becoming a slave to the workplace and not spending any time upgrading your standard of living. How to alleviate the issue? One, start by looking at job where you live. It's cheaper in the short term and it allows you to save more money while give you more time to put into things that you want to do that may help you monetarily. So you can it it's cheaper and it saves and it's less travel time between your work. So when you come home, you can spend more time into your side hustle or something like that. So that's one. If that's not possible, the job that gives you an interview, calculate the cost to reach there from home, times that by 31 days. Then you have your transportation costs. If the job forces you to move and you have to pay rent, uh, include the rent as a cost to cover. The job should obviously know that's a non-negotiable, as it's technically a waste of money to pay any less than that a month. Plus, add another cost we'll speak on soon. So the next thing is food costs. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Those three meals takes time and money and energy. Digesting takes a lot of energy also, which is the result of what in Jamaica we call niggeritis, which is basically drowsiness after eating a meal, normally lunch, which can lead to unproductivity. Also, 9 to 5 job rarely take into account a person's peak working hours or waste working hours or inefficient use of staff. Example, when you could go to a supermarket and see the supermarket, when you could go into when you go into a supermarket, usually you have like 12 cashier register, but that place at the register, at most you have 6 persons working at the register. That's inefficient use of space and workers. What ideally a supermarket should do is always have 12 cashiers on standby to accommodate the maximum space that but that never happens. So the supermarket is losing a lot of money indirectly when they think they are saving costs by hiring less people. With that same example, they some days a lot of the people going shopping. In that same example, there's not a lot of people going shopping on some days. So some days the workers spend the whole 9 to 5 doing nothing, even though they're getting paid for the time. That's time wasted and that's never regained. No. The next thing is peak working hours in a company. Really, the, the next thing is peak working hours in a company. Really, is the effort put into in the individual's work skill to see how best they can use the individual peakly. So you can see a company. in a company you have redundant workers and workers that works best in the morning doing a lot of evening work and vice versa. So then that company is a net unproductive company. These are related to food in that the way your employee eats result in the quality and productivity of the work they do. To alleviate that, look at the restaurant and food places around and get an idea of the most expensive breakfast, lunch, and dinner and times that by 31 days. And you have your base food costs. The next thing is to have a grocery list for the ingredients you need to cook at home for 1 month, and that list will be more expensive on the surface but long term significantly cheaper than buying food every day and is somewhat healthier with the added benefit of can be cooked in bulk. So when you have those two costs down separately, you and you have your debt slash loans, um, like for example car loans, etc. You're trying to pay off the cost of traveling to and from work, rent and mortgage to be paid, and the cost of buying food and groceries. The cost of buying food and buying groceries. You have a base cost of what you can give to the person. Say, okay, boom, this is the first set of things. This is what my salary is going to look like. That's the first set of things that I'm looking to cover when I'm working, when you're paying me. The next thing is bills, light, water, gas, and internet. What I've learned is the light, water, and gas is ideally you should set it to a base of 20,000 per month because that's the like a worst case scenario. That's in Jamaican, and they net to a $10,000 per month in a worst case scenario. Mhm. Next thing is insurance and gym. Those are miscellaneous costs that you should learn the cost of doing it for a month and have that written down as well. Lastly, you should have extra money that you can save up when you get your salary, or else you are basically doing a net zero work. You're just working. At the end of the day, everything that the salary will basically be a net zero salary. You know, and it would basically be technically charity work. Mhm. So with all that said, now you should have that cost and look in what you get paid monthly and reference that to what you spend monthly, and you'll know if you're spending more or less than what you're making. With that knowledge now, you should adjust accordingly. That is, ask for a raise where necessary to account for that. Look for a better job opportunity or downsize where necessary. If you don't have a job and have little experience, the employer may see this as a high asking price, which isn't wrong on their side. But you should also have in mind that what you bring to the table, and if they can't afford that, that means that the business isn't at the place who can afford your full services. So your next thing is when you give them your asking price, ask them what they can pay as the amount, as that would be a good start for you regardless because it's more than $0 per month, and you can we can get some of what you want, and also a way to help the business, the company make more money to also increase your pay. As for me now, I'm getting pressure from all around to get a job, so I add that to the 90-day plan as well. So one of the new goals will be to get a 9 to 5 job. So you'll see how I'll approach it, how I have set up my life so that the 9 to 5 may have a great benefit to me and the ups and downs in trying to get the job. So you hear me talking about that. And if I do get a job, you'll hear me talking about the pros and cons. Working the 9 to 5 and how I adjust my lifestyle accordingly to accommodate it. So the next two episodes will be the first draft estimate of the gym cost and the job search series, you know. So I'll make the 9 to 5 job search a mini series to itself. So for you people that's in the same boat, have something to relate to. And while also looking into the YouTube Let's Play and the website. So you'll see me balancing that and see real time how I'll adjust. The 90 days to change your life may go way over the 90 days, as things are the way things are going. But you'll see firsthand of me going from zero to somewhere in real time. Also, we're coming at the end now, but another random life tip that I just found that I think is a life tip. But if you ever feel bad or you feel depressed or angry or something like that, I think one of the odd things you should do is just basically just help someone out for no reason at all. You know, give a homeless person $100, at least clean their room or house, as it's a great way to either keep the economy going, as that homeless person may spend that $100 better or worse than you, but you either way is contributing to the economy. And if you clean your room and house, that's less work for about a week or more, while putting that negative energy into something constructive. And the thing is, kindness is a weird but long-term good return on investment. It may be a short-term L, as you're basically giving away free money for free, but it may help you back somehow in the future. You never know, So that's basically it, So look, I hope this will give you kind of more realistic view on the 95 and how you should approach going for the 95. And then in the future, I'll give you real time of how I'm going to try to actually go into this 95 thing now. And you'll see how I'll do it, try to do it, and see where it gets us, you know, and then you can just use that same thing to help you as well. So yeah, man. So all right, thank you for listening, and look forward for the next episode.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.
Okay, so now welcome back to the Frame Mindset Podcast. My name is Colin Smith Brooks, and this episode is the gym draft. So it's where I give you a draft idea of the cost it would take for me to go to that gym the first day. You know, and it's a lot, you know. And the reason why it's a lot is because the gym ain't free and I have to pay to go in. I'm in the real world now. Usually at UWI, when I was at university, I just had to had my UWI ID. I could just go into the gym, but in the real world, I have to pay and then I have to pay fare and all these things. But this episode is dedicated to my gym bros, the youths that love going to gym to get that gym body and all these things. So I just going to just tell you the cost of me